At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Thank you. Wow, today is the 31st of January. Guys, come on, January is going too fast. It was just 2021 the other day. Now we're on 2021, January is finished. So we're going to February very soon. Before you know it, we are going to 2022. Wow. Well, thank you very much, ladies, for joining me today. Today, I have powerful women on this forum who believes in empowering, training, and coaching humanity. Because humanity, we actually need people to train us, to coach us, and to take that, because we have all this fear of the unknown. Because I think right now we have been systematically oppressed so much, and we've been conditioned into thinking that struggling, suffering, hardship, unhealthy competition, that is what we live for right now. Almost everybody, we're just fearful. And because that's how we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to think that struggling is the only way, suffering is the only way, fighting is the only way. But today, I have with me some very powerful women who are going to prove us otherwise. There is another way. So thank you very much. Today I have Rose with me. Thank you very much, Rose, for joining us today. We also have Dr. Pauline. Thank you, Dr. Pauline. I also have Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. And thank you, Dr. Francisca, as well. So I'm going to just let you introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you do and your passion, because I know you're all passionate about what you do. So I'll start with Rose. Rose, please, if you can take the floor and introduce yourself, please. Rose, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah,
so thank you so much, Lydia, for having these wonderful ladies here, and especially me. I feel so honored and humbled. Rose Oginga is my name, and I am just a lover of making things happen. If you're around me, you will never be the same. Ask these ladies. Now you'll never be the same, because now you'll be the best friend ever.
Yeah.
And we gonna do what we do best, transforming a generation to come.
Mm-hmm.
So Rose is a Design for Success coach, entrepreneur, a transformational coach geared to helping change individuals' mindset. I know I did. I know I got mentored, and that's why I'm not who I was. I am different. I am a nurse by profession. I am a leader of a very progressive nonprofit known as I Hope. I'm the CEO. I also believe that education is key. So in I Hope, we work with the youth and the women to educate them through health and through general education, focusing on academic excellence. Because we have a generation that we have to push forward.
Yeah.
So in Design for Success, as I mentioned, I might know so much, but the package we do have in Design for Success is unbeatable, because we are bringing a package that will sustain, will project people from A to Z. And I know my partners will be able to talk about what they do. I am a personal development and growth personnel. I help as a life coach to make people grow and enable them be better in their lives. That's the brief. I have a lot to talk about.
Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Okay, so I'll go to Dr. Francisca, please. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Dr. Francisca Ramoni. I'm one of the coaches at Design for Success. And Design for Success here, we are geared to helping our friends be the best they can be, change their career, uplift themselves, be able to come out better than they were before. I'm one of the career coaches in Design for Success, and most of the time I coach people on how to do career transition, because as you all know, during the pandemic, for example, so many things change, and most of us will be wondering, what do I do next? What do I do to situate myself so that in the event something like this happen again, or in the event I lose my job, where will I go, or what will I do? So I give you those tips. I coach you, we discuss, we talk, I get to know where you are, I get to know you, and we come up with a amicable solution, which can help you to propel yourself to your next level. What your passions are, based on what you like to do, based on your dreams and your career goals. I also do Agile coaching. Agile coaching is one of the IT transformational project management system, which helps organizations currently move to the IT system, which helps them work on their projects efficiently, systematically, and easy. So I coach people on being Scrum Masters. I coach people on being product owners. I coach you, train you, prepare you for your interviews, and work on you on your resume. And when we are working on this, the key thing is, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? How do you see yourself in the future? So everything we talk about, you are the center of all this discussion. And so as a career coach, as a transformational organizational coach, I deal with you based on what your goals are and what your passion and what your dreams are. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Okay, so I'll go to Sharon, please.
Okay, good morning, good evening, everybody watching and who will watch later on. Thank you so much for having us in this forum. My name is Sharon Adundo. I'm one of the coaches for Design for Success, and I handle financial management aspect of it, money issues. So this is a powerful area because it doesn't matter which profession you are in. We all talk about money at the end of the day, like how much are you bringing at the table at the end of the day, or how much did you earn? So this is why we are bonding in this forum here, in this system we have set up, because we are all unique in different ways. But at the end of the day, we all talk about money. How much do you have in your pocket, and how much can you manage it, and how much can you grow? We all have different stages of growth, and it's never too late to start. And one thing, we are all working together as a group. There is space for growth. So if you know you have a passion of anything, don't wait for a perfect time. Find a way of how you can start with what you have, with whatever you have around you, who is also a motivating factor, and get going. So besides being a design for success coach, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business lady. I've been in business for over 15 years, self-employed, sometimes I contract. So that is the background of all this, because we share our experiences. We share real life, not just what we have no idea about. Then we learn from each other. So being open-minded to learn, being open-minded to know more information about how we can be better on our, on our daily life and the people around us is my main passion and the passion of the group that we have. So that's why we came together and said, we need also, like, as Africans, to pull together, to learn to work with each other. We rarely find situations whereby people complement each other, but we are learning from the Western culture to see if we can change the narrative. So this is why we have this group. So we have this group to be able to complement each other, boost each other's strength, because we all have different strengths. So if you know where someone's strength is and then come together, work together, that's what you're forming, and that's what you want to share. besides making our life better. So my passion is giving back. So in this group, if you hear their background, they are majorly giving back. It's work. Besides just coaching, we also volunteer to teach and empower the young people. We have different forums whereby once in a while we share the tips, we share the nuggets. So those who find it useful, follow them, because all this information is expensive. The Google world is large, but at the end of the day, when you find and narrow down to someone who is pointing what you exactly need, it helps you move faster. So that's, otherwise we'll continue sharing more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Okay, Dr. Pauline, thank you.
Hello, world.
Hello.
I come as one package in many. And by names, I am Dr. Pauline Kibisu, also known as Achien Kibisu, also known as Pauline Otieno, depending on the forum that I'm in. And when I say I come as one package in many, I'm a Design for Success coach, and I do the leadership and my other passion, healthcare portion of the Design for Success coaching. I'm very passionate about leadership, but not just leadership, good leadership, because people tell you they're leaders, but what kind of leader are you? Africans can attest. Every leader, even with a country that's crumbling, if you ask them, they'll tell you they're good leaders. But we are trying in Design for Success to, our goal is to bring out that good leader. Before I dive in a little deeper about my personal self, in the world leadership positions, I am the vice chair of one of the largest diaspora women's circle, CANADS. I'm sure if you live in North American diaspora, hoping you have heard about it. And if you have not, please DM me or Google and join us, because this train it's running faster than the SGR. And as we all know, Africa is the next place to invest in, and who doesn't want to be able to borrow 3 times what they have saved? So Google CANADS, reach out to, I think all the Design for Success members are also CANADS members. We can help you. Another exciting information I want to share with you is that I chair the Hebrews Credit Union in Texas. Why Hebrews? Hebrews were the original Black people, and we are building a credit union for us, by us, going live online in June of this year. It's exciting. So not only in Africa, now you will be able to borrow those loans, to not be judged by your name, and be able to get, finance is power, get finance to do your stuff. I do investments. I'm passionate about investments. If you see my background, there's those apartments. Breaking ground December 2021, and that is through one of my investment groups, Ninam Investments. I also belong to Audacious Women. I belong to Cicely McDonald Investment. I'm very excited to say, Generation Wealth Builders in Austin, Texas. This one belongs, every African is eligible to join. And guess what? We used to say Africans cannot come together. We are breaking that misnomer. And 250 Africans are actually putting their money together. And by August of this year, first project going up. Oh, I am also the CEO of Chapaco Schools. It's a group of kindergarten schools. If you're in the Nairobi West area or the South Sea area, look up our schools. It's Jupaco Royal Schools. It's one of the things I do. And my other passion is giving back. I am the president of iHope, is international. We empower women and youth. I am the health director. This year, we're going to missions in December. So if you want to join us, feel free to Google some more about us. And then I also do a local thing. It's called Wakina Mama and youth, unique youth investments or empowerment group, where we are teaching the local people, especially in the slum areas, how to fish, how to stand up against, you know, in a good way, against those leaders, so that they can also be a win-win. There is no win-win, so that they can, you know, fight for their little rights. You know, like if there is a Mutaro that has the owner, we are teaching them how to talk to that owner of that Mutaro to allow them to clean it. Because in the slum areas, trust me, things have owners. We are also teaching them to not just be greedy for themselves, but learn how to share. And also teaching them how to empower themselves through table banking, through coaching sessions. We do give free coaching to the women, the youth, teach them how to be our better leaders for tomorrow. If you're from Kenya like myself, you know that we have a highly unemployed percentage of youth. And so we are also shifting them from the mindset that they have to be employed. We are teaching them to know that with what they have learned in school, they shouldn't be waiting for somebody to employ them. They should be thinking of how to change that information into employment. And with that said, that's the little part of the blocks that make me. My day job is a family nurse practitioner. I've been in healthcare for more than 30 years. I am passionate about healthcare, really passionate about it. And at the same time, I'm committed to learning and leading the correct way every day. It's a sense of responsibility, and it's accomplishments that I talk about with a degree of pride. My journey to where I am was not simple, but I used my negative energy to get the highest education that one can get in learning, in nursing. And that is, I have a doctorate in health system leadership. So that's why I combine health and leadership in this, Design for Success. There's a lot I can say. And as the program goes, I will share some more nuggets about leadership, because there is a lot to being a leader. I mean, what's your responsibility as a leader? One of them is to build a compelling and healthy culture. And 2, coach your people. And 3, scale your business. I mean, even your house as a mama, a woman, your house is your business. You want to scale it to be the best that there is. And there's tips, there's ways to do this to the best. And so with that said, I will turn it back over to Miss Lydia. Thank you so much.
Hey, ladies, where do you get the energy to do all this? Wow. I promised my viewers today, we're going to have women of substance, tenacity women. I don't know where you get your energy, women, but if they say, those days when they said a woman's place is in the kitchen, wow. Sometimes they wish they left us there, because, oh my God, you women today, I don't know. So we're talking of changing. I know Sharon spoke about changing the narratives. Yeah. And Rose also touched about the mindset. So we need to change the narratives of our mindset. If I can actually join those two together, changing the narratives of our mindset, because we've been conditioned so much to think of one way, and it's one way. And I've seen a lot with our community. And when I say our community, I don't mean Kenyans, so I don't mean Africans. I mean Black people in general. We are so used to struggling. And when they say, and I know also Dr. Francesca touched about having, she's a coach. So you paying for, because these things are not cheap, they're expensive. If you pay for a coach, or they can give you little nugget here, but we don't believe in being coached. We believe, no, I'm fine. My mindset is fine. I'll just work 9 to 5. I'll work for $200. That's enough for me. And then you sit down and you're waiting for just that $200 every month. If it doesn't come, you're done. And sometimes it comes and your outgoings are $400 and you only have $200 coming in. So how do you maintain the other one? So we do need this thing. We do need coaching. We do need people to show us how to handle our money. Like that's what Sharon does as well. She deals with money. And I'm also what Dr. Pauline talked about is when you're training these women, you're teaching them how to fish so that they don't feel entitled. There is no entitlement. I'm entitled to this. Give me. I'm entitled to this. But they feel empowered, and they step into their goal themselves. But we need coaching. We need our mindset to be changed. So women, I am so happy that I have these powerful women today with me, so that even when you talk to people, they understand where you're coming from. It's not just somebody coming from, I sell groceries and I want to come and coach. No, you've been trained yourself. Like you said, Rose, today you are who you are because you've gone through the process yourself. So there is a process, and today you're here to talk to us about the process to freedom. So thank you very much. So I will actually start with my sister and coach, of course, Rose. So talking of shifting perspective, talking about someone, now you have me sitting in front of you, and I have this mentality has been engraved deeply into my mindset, fear of the unknown. So how do you break that to freedom of prosperity? How can you break that? And I'll ask
That's a great question. That's a great question. I'm not a psychologist, but I know one thing. Allow me to read this. Sigmund Freud said this: there is psychological technique which makes it possible to interpret dreams. And if that procedure is employed, every dream reveals itself as a cycle structure which has meaning and which can be inserted at a signable point in the mental activities of waking life. Digest that. Everybody has a dream. What stops them is fear. Each and everybody from childhood to 100+ years, they'll tell you they have a dream. But one thing they'll tell you, they won't tell you is that they were fearful. They were scared to get it off the ground. As Napoleon reminds us, Napoleon Hill, dreams are seedlings of reality. Dreams are seedlings of reality. The moment we understand that concept, you start shredding the fear out of you. Fear has stopped so many people doing great things, including the fear of collaborating with wonderful ladies like this. It's like, oh my gosh, if I share this with Dr. Fran, he'll run with me, she'll run with that, and Sharon will do this, and you're so scared. Scared for what? For example, here in America, there are over 300 million people. Are you gonna talk to them all by yourself? You can't. And now that you're meeting our sister Lydia from UK, are you gonna go to UK and meet them all by yourself? Stop it. So fear is the enemy of us not moving forward. A dreamer, like all of us, we have one common thing. We have it in our body. We have it in our mind. And that's where the mindset comes in. What do? Do you focus on the fear, or do you move on to the next? So fear is very, very key. For you to shift that fear, then you are 100% moving to the next level. I say it's key because it is stopping you from growing. It is stopping you from doing what's right. Without fear, you will progress in so many things. As one of my friend and partner, Dr. Pauline mentioned, we do a lot of things that sometimes we forget who is who. Because we kind of meet and mingle and work together as leaders, we just find ourselves just knitting together. Why? Because we broke the idea of fear. Mm-hmm. And you might find us kind of mixing the things that we do, because all the investment that Pauline is, I am there. And sometimes in Kenya as a supervisor, I'm so fortunate to have been chosen as a supervisor there, as a committee supervisory. Sometimes she might look at me with a bad eye, but I'm like, listen, these are people's money. Let's do what's right. That's called collaboration, partnership. We all need each other. So stop the fear and you will progress. Stop the fear and you will change that mindset. Be positive in yourself. In Design for Success, we are helping you make a change. Make your mindset move from fear to progress as you identify your struggles. We don't know what that struggle is until we talk to you. We can have a conversation with you as a team, as individual, on areas that you need to move out and face it head on. You have to face your fears head on to challenge it and make headway. Fear is the worst enemy. It curtails your dream, it curtails your networking, it stops you from doing a lot. So you have to make sure that if you want to move on, according to Les Brown is one of my mentors, a very great motivational speaker. His story is our story. He didn't have those degrees that many of us have here, but he made it. He is a great motivational speaker. Why? Too many of us are not making our dreams because we live in our fears, he says so. Every day we live in our fears that we cannot do it, that it is too expensive to have a mentor. Friends, I'm sorry. I am here because I had mentors, several of them, and they made me who I am. And each one of them, every time I go, I learn something new. Invest in yourself. I don't care which area you're gonna invest in yourself, but I can tell you when you invest yourself, you will never be the same. You will think smartly. You will think very well, and you will be able to get out of that fear. According to Kinuthia, he says, Kinuthia Phinehas, dreams without a plan is a delusion. You have to have a plan. And that's why I have these great ladies. Some of them are better planner than I. I can tell you, one of my good friends, Sharon, is like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. It's not in my plan. So please have the no N-O in your life. Have a friend who will tell you, I'm sorry, that one I'm not doing today. Doesn't mean the person hates you. No, the person is just helping you to grow you. So please, we are a constant development project. Us as individuals, we keep developing ourselves. Hence, we grow if we allow others to help us grow. Okay. I would go on and on, Sister Lydia.
No, stop. I'll stop you there. You will definitely come back again because I love the points. I know. So they say that the fear, which is false evidence appearing real. They're not really real, but they appear real, but they're not real. So they stop us from our dreams. They stop us from our breakthrough. Even fear will stop you from dreaming. And they always say that if you dream, dream big. A dream that scares you. You're dreaming and you're scared. You're like, no. How can I? But those are the dreams you should have. You should not allow fear to stop you from dreaming big. False evidence appearing real. It is not real. So thank you very much, Rose, for that. And of course, you will come back. And I like the fact that you actually, because sometimes people don't understand what fear is, but the way you said, even things like collaborating, there's so many things. You can be fearful of collaborating with people because you're either thinking, oh, they'll steal my idea, or they will take it and go away, or they'll do this to me, but all that is fear. So I think later, I'll really appreciate if you talk about break down this fear that even if you're fearful of giving somebody money because you don't want to investing in somebody's project, that is fear. So if you can break all these things that hold us back in terms of fear. So thank you very much, Rose, for that. And just to say thank you to everybody who is watching today. Thank you for all our viewers. Thank you for taking your sweet time to come and listen to this. And I can tell you, you're not going to leave this platform the same. You're going to be motivated. You leave this place motivated, empowered, transformed, and you live with so much nuggets. Like Dr. Pauline said, nuggets. You live with so much free nuggets from this platform today. Nuggets that you didn't pay for. You got it for free. So thank you so much. So for you as well to empower somebody out there, just like these beautiful ladies of substance are empowering us, please share this, share, and share so that other people can also benefit from the free nuggets that we have been given today. Actually, I'm blessed already and we've not even started. So if you feel blessed as well, please bless somebody else by sharing. Okay, and also your comments. We love comments. We love questions. We love your ideas. And we also love solutions to problems. So, but don't bring problems. Bring solutions to problems, your ideas. We'll accept it. We love it. Okay, so I'm going to my Sharon, my beautiful Sharon money man, money woman. Now, we all know that money is a very big dynamic in the freedom of stepping into our destiny. Money is always a problem. Oh no, if I get it, oh no, I don't have it, oh no, there's always money. But sometimes the barrier of this money is just because there's no planning, there's no budgeting, there's no saving, there's no investment. So you're here today, please help us with this. Help us. How do we plan? How do we budget? How do we save? And also give us some investment tips that can help us with our money.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you again. Thank you again, everybody watching. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, everybody in the forum. Okay, so I like talking about money and basically based on the journey, again, that I've also had in my life. So, and another thing I would like to say is, one thing that people fear talking about is money issues, because they tend to say that I don't have that much money now. How can I start talking about money? That is a bad mentality to have. We need to learn to appreciate what we have and see how we can cultivate it and make it grow. Because I always believe, like, if I look at myself 10 years back, I'm not the same today, even if it is last year or 2-3 years ago. So what one need to learn to identify is learn to appreciate who you are, where you are, and start working on from there. So number one thing, we have to learn to talk about money, budgeting, planning, saving, investing. We have business education in primary schools, but I think right now it's out of the syllabus. So you find those are some of the things that were being used to introduce the money topic at an early age. And we also have families. You find back home in the days, we rarely used to have like family meetings unless it's just the school time. When you're writing your school list, you want school fees and you want maybe shopping for the school uniform and all the stuff. That's when you're being told, hey, what is your school fees? Then you're being reminded, then that's when you start that conversation. But most families lack the daily talk of money issues. Parents, children don't have that. Most of the parent children don't have that topic as part of their daily life. So that is where my passion is. We are trying to break this to be able to, you know, learn to have this as a conversation. So number one thing, planning. If you're working or if you're not working, at the end of the day, you'll find you have to pay for the place where you live at, or if you're not paying, maybe someone is accommodating you, or if you are not working, or maybe you have a landed room somewhere, but at the end of the day, all these have to be taken care of by money. So number one thing that I advocate for is learn to plan. Planning doesn't necessarily mean that you have all things together. Learn to plan, have a book and a pen, But right now people have these, electronic, you can use your phone to write notes. Learn to plan. What do you want to be in 1 year's time? What do you want to be in 5 years' time? You just project. How do you wish your life to be? Because we are here on this earth, we are surviving, we are living. Do you want to be comfortable? Or do you want to be miserable in your life? Or do you have a meaning in your life? So learn just to write down what you'd wish to be. That is planning. Like, let's say I would wish to stay in a good place, or I'd wish to finish my studies, or I'd wish to buy a land, I would wish to invest in my kids. That is planning. So that's the essential thing that will help you move to the next stage. In that level of planning, remember, I'm trying to mix things at the same time. We've been going to school. When we're growing up, we used to want to be doctors, pilots, all engineer. But you find now you're going to school focusing majorly like, hey, I'm going to be employed. As you're planning and you're going to school or doing any other subject or doing any other thing in your life, just don't be enclosed to that, whatever you've written down, if it's not going to work for you in the end. As you're planning, try to start researching on how you're going to work on these plans that you've written. Then that will enable you to open up your mind to start looking for resources on how to achieve it. So these resources all turns out to mostly being money or people's social connection. Or you find that I know a particular person who can help you move to the next stage, then maybe offer you a course. And then through this course, you're going to be able to get some good income. Then your plan starts materializing into something else that is going to improve your life. So after planning, start working on the next thing to improve on how you want to make them realistic. After that, let's say you finish your course, you start earning money, you'll start receiving money. So this particular money is what you need to learn to plan with. How are you going to cater for your monthly bills? How are you going to cater for the near future? In whatever money you're going to receive, you also need to know that you need to have that emergency backup. I like using last year Corona episode. There are periods I used to talk to people and some of them were like, hey, you only live for today, enjoy life, you never know about tomorrow. What happened last year? What happened? So many people suffered and we are still suffering. But those who are listening, I'm not saying that I'm a millionaire or anything, but I learned to manage what was coming in. We struggled. We all scrambled at one point. Some people are getting money. Some people are not getting money. Some people are laid off. Some people are being employed. But there was a roller coaster. So what happened to those people who are just saying, like, I only live for today, I don't care about tomorrow? You get maybe your income today. Remember, it's end month now. So many people are getting their money, but there are those people who are blowing it off or whose money, they had already spent and borrowed around the 20th. So now if they're receiving money, they're just receiving a negative paper. Let me tell you, you at that point are not seeing any value for your work or any value for your work or your time, because you are neglecting yourself. You are not taking care of yourself. And by not taking care of yourself and just blowing up your money, not trying to list it down, you are spending it even before receiving it. That's a bad way of approaching life. So what we are trying to encourage in this forum also is, no matter how small the money is, learn to plan with it. Even if it's just 10 shillings, $10, that is money in. Learn to plan with it. I've also interacted with some people who are saying, hey, I'll start planning when I start receiving reasonable money. What is reasonable money? Mm-hmm. Even billionaires are still not seeing like their billions are not reasonable. They keep working. So what you have right now is that reasonable money you need to start planning with. And how do you plan? Write your budget. It's simple. There are several people who've never budgeted. There are some people I'm mentoring from a certain group. They've never budgeted in their life. They've never planned in their life because they're saying the money they're receiving is not enough. Why do you say it's not enough? Because you've overstretched your spending habit. or you are living beyond your means and you just don't want to sit down with yourself because it's you who has to fix it. You have to sit down and figure out, hey, Sharon, what kind of life do I have? Am I able to afford it? Or how can I make it better? Suppose you are employed. Is the money is your money enough to take care of your need? If it's not enough, what else can I do extra? What can I sacrifice in order to be able to boost what I'm getting? Or how can I upgrade my school or my profession in order to be able to move to the next level? So it's a daily interaction you have to have with yourself. I always like saying that no one else will do it for you. Even if you're coming from a fortunate family, you still need to know how to manage this wealth that was built while you're growing up. So take the responsibility to learn from others, see how you can make yourself better in order to be able to move to the next level. So whenever you work, people have different percentages, like maybe you save 30% or you save 40% of whatever you're earning. Or let's say whatever you're earning is not enough. Example, you're employed. How about maybe you identify a particular need in your area and see if you can, we call it side hustle. Some people don't like that name, like you sound as if you're suffering. I like using that word. Yes, let it be like I'm suffering, but I know what I'm getting at the end of the day. That side hustle will even give you, even if it's 3 shillings a day or $3 a day, whatever it is, let's say even if it's 10 a day, besides your income, at the end of the month, let's say it's 10, you'll have 300, even if it's 300 extra that you never going to receive at your current employment or something. So this 300, you'll start looking at, hey, I really worked this month, January is ending. What about next month? Do I need to add something else or do I need to improve it in order to see how it can double up? Or can I be a supplier? Suppose I started making juice on the side at a workplace in a busy environment. Now people know me, hey, as Sharon, the juice supplier. In the morning I come, I put 1 bottle at the end on each and everybody's table who is willing to buy my juice. At the end of the week or at the end of the month, they pay me. That is money that is coming in extra. So what else can I do? Such like things. Suppose maybe where weekends are free. Now I'm talking about other ways to boost your income. Suppose your weekends are free. What do you normally do on your free time? Do you go drinking with a group of people who are just discussing things that are not adding money in your pocket? I'm not saying it's not bad. It's bad to go hang out, but how frequent do you do this? And how much do you blow when working together with such a group? Does it add growth in you? Does it help you save extra emergency income in your account? So watch out for the groups you hang out with. Watch out for what you do together. If you have a group that is constantly negative or judging people or criticizing or running their time on Facebook, always giving negative energy, please, we are still early on 2021. You can change that. Identify even 1 or 2, 3 people who can help you start moving to the next level. Let me say that I'm in business, I'm in trucking business. I came over here as a student, but I transitioned I finished my studies. But before I even finished my studies, I started getting into trucking business. So through that, there are struggles I met along the way. And through the struggles, I experienced losses. We had relationships that had financial issues that never worked. So through this, it's kind of, I was in a container being rolled like this, and I'm still growing. And whatever experience that I've encountered along the way is what I'm sharing, because my Sharon today is not the same as Sharon 10 years ago. So the little nuggets that have helped me along the way, and I'm still using them, is what I'm sharing. I'm in trucking business. We do move loads from one place to the other. But besides that, do you know, I do small things like even, I have a friend who is so good in making mandazis and chapatis. So what do? Since I'm in male-dominated business, I interact majorly with male on the other side. I started looking for ways in order to reach out to other women and other larger communities so that I can also build my social economic life. Because through sharing things like, hey, Rose, today I have 10 mandazis. Do you want me to supply you with chapatis and mandasi on the side? These are simple things that I do during my free time. We have text messages. You can easily say, hey, mandazis are available today. How many packs do you want? Chapatis are available. So this is an extra thing that I do. I'm a supplier. I don't cook mandazi, I don't cook chapatis, but I know this good friend of mine who does that is supplying. So through that, when I supply it to mostly even men and women, we have then another extra conversation like, hey, this thing is coming up. Do you want to join? So learn to see how you can extend your social network system. Don't be too much glued into one area of work or concentration. Learn to see how you can reach other people. So through reaching these other people, it enabled me to meet other good people that have helped me with the growth. Like, hey, I see you normally do this tracking. How, you know, we share ideas, and then through that, I get to learn more. And through whatever I'm doing, that's how I came also to meet this group, great group that we have. By going through even social events and gathering. Corona has grounded us right now. I really miss traveling, but I know it's going to open up. But through that, you learn to get extra. So this extra that I am getting, even through the mandazis I sell, through the bags that I sell on the side, I interact with people, I get to get more information. That money, I keep it in one particular account, and that account, I build it up to cater for other needs. So suppose I say this mandazi business and chapati, the extra income, I use it for improving or just saving for my kids' college. It might sound to be a small money, but it builds up. If it's 300 a month, could I have picked it from somewhere? No. Suppose you want to go for a vacation, that extra money that you're getting is going to help you go for that vacation because your main income is tight. Or that extra money, you can start putting it like 300 by 6 months. I'm able to put a deposit for land. So you might wonder like, hey, I'm always having the same job as Sharon, but why is she able to buy land? Or why is she able to do this? Because I'm trying to go extra. Try to go an extra mile. Then use that extra mile money. Look for ways. Contact people. Let me tell you, there are people who are in the same field like you are, or maybe long to do. Just reach out. Some people will share information, some will not, but don't give up if you don't get anybody who is not sharing information, because people react differently. So next, after saving, save with a plan. Have an emergency strategy whereby at least you can have 6 months savings budget. One other thing that I would like to say is, maybe you are looking at yourself right now. You are saying, hey, I'm just living in a 1-bedroom house and in a SQ. When I finished college, Kenya, I used to be in Kenyatta University. I graduated in 2004.
Sharon,
yes.
Sorry. I'll stop you there because I want you to come back again to what you're saying, because what you're saying is very, very important, but you'll come back again to the same, so that you can talk to us about the savings and investment tips when you come back, because now I know you've done the planning and the budgeting. And in fact, when you are talking, when you talk about planning, I actually wanted to talk about planning your time, and you touched it as well when you spoke about hanging out with people who challenge your ability of growth, not just gossipers and everything. You have to work with people who challenge your ability of growth, and also to cultivate the little money that you have to make it grow. Don't just say, I don't have money, I only have little money. So thank you very much. And also we have to cut our coat according to our size, because you can't be saying, I'm going to Harrods, when you can just go to Primark. Okay, I'm talking about the UK. I don't know about US. Harrods is the most expensive shop here. And you say, I'm going to Harrods to buy perfume, when you can just go to Primark and buy perfume, because you're cutting it according to your size. And there's also something that you said, Sharon, when you spoke about, I'm not saying I'm a millionaire. And I was like, yes, sweetie, you have to say that, because the tongue has the power of life and death. You are a millionaire. So you have to confess that and believe that. Yeah, and then we can run to you as well to lend us some money when you're a millionaire. So, so thank you very much, Sharon, but we'll come back to you. So I'll go to Dr. Francisca now. And before I go there as well, I still want to say thank you very much for our viewers on Facebook. Thank you so much. I see my friend who loves sharing. She's here again. She started sharing already. So thank you very much. I say today we have nuggets. Dr. Pauline called it nuggets. So these nuggets that they are giving us today is a blessing because they normally charge for these nuggets. But today we are getting these nuggets for free. So don't be selfish with the nuggets. Please share this video, share this talk, share it on other platforms so everybody can get the free nuggets that we are getting. We call it a blessing. So share the blessing with someone else. Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to read, and we want your comments. Walter is here. Walter know how it goes. And Caroline as well is here. She knows how it goes. And Olet, Joshua is here as well. So we need comments. We need your ideas and your questions as well. So bring them on. We have ladies here who are going to answer your questions, not me, because me, I'm just a facilitator, like I always say. So Dr. Francisca, as a career coach, how would you tackle issues of somebody going through so much battle? They're going through battles and they're going through either they don't even know about, but their life is just stagnant, or sometimes they know about it, but they don't want to talk about it, or sometimes they know about it, but they've not accepted it, because we know sometimes people live in denial. So they're totally living in denial. So how would you break this mindset so that someone can actually step into freedom of prosperity so that they can actually achieve their goals? As a career coach, how would you handle this? The free nuggets. We're here for free nuggets.
Thank you so much, Miss Lydia, and everybody watching us out there. The ladies, Rose and Sharon, have spoken a lot. And what they've spoken, if you guys are listening, I wish you can take those nuggets seriously. So I'm going to build on two things before I go ahead and answer your question. I'll start with fear from Rose. One of the things about fear is when they talk about fear, they talk about forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So when you're facing an obstacle, just as Lydia has asked me, or if you're facing a barrier, which one do you choose? Do you forget and run, or do you face it and rise? So you have to overcome your fear by facing the obstacle around you and rising. And as Design for Success, or as team of coaches, or as a coach, we have those nuggets and those skills. We can work with you. We can discuss with you. We can involve you, and everything will come out from you in order for you to rise and face that obstacle and rise. And when you go into planning, everything in our life depends on how we plan our time. It does not matter how much you plan. It does not matter how much you think you can do. If you do not plan, you will fail, because they say if you don't plan, you plan to fail. And more specifically, time is everything. Time is the most common factor in everything we do. So plan your time accordingly. Plan your time wise. Know where your time is going each and every day. So let me go back to the question. So when people are facing barriers, and as a career coach, agile coach, a transformational coach, I use the skill of grow. So I'll ask you some questions we're gonna be discussing, because remember, it has to come from you. What are you looking for? What is your passion? And why do you want to do what you're doing? Why do you want to transform? Right now, you can say, I want to transform because of COVID. The pandemic has come up and I'm seeing my job is shaky. Or I want to have a second stream of income. Or I'm passionate about this job. I was just doing this other job because I wanted the money. So right now I want to change and be a nurse, a doctor, or whatever you want to be. And so I'll use the GROW methodology, or the GROW acronym. The GROW acronym is, I want you to give me your goal. What is your goal? What do you want to do? Why are you trying to transform? Or why are you trying to change your career? Where do you want to be? So that's goal in GROW. And then reality, what is your current status? Where are you right now? And what are you doing? What are you doing that is making you leave? And what are you doing that is making you want to change? And then we talk about options. What do you need to get? What do you need to get where you need to go? So do you need to go to school? Do you need to have a mentor? Do you need to have a coach? What exactly do you need? Because most of us, we don't believe in mentorship. And mentorship is what will rise you even in your career at work to be where you need to go. Because if you're being mentored by somebody who knows what they're doing, and that is where you want to be, that is the position you aspire to be. If you don't have a mentor, you cannot reach that position. You'll be working on your own day and night, but because you don't have mentorship, because you don't have somebody to hold your hand per se, to show you the way, it's going to be so difficult for you to get there. And then the will. Are you willing to change? Are you willing to take that step to transform? Are you willing to be, are you coachable? Are you willing for somebody to tell you something? You know, so action items that you need to take to get you there. So as a coach, we try to talk about what are the best ways you like to achieve your goals. And I know this is a cliche, or this is what people always talk about, SMART goals. Everybody knows about SMART goals. But do we follow the SMART goals? Or we just set goals because it's 2021, it is January, everybody is setting goals. You want to also have goals. You know, are your goals specific? So I want to transform, or I want to do a career change. Why are you doing that career change? What are you linking it to? What actions are you looking up to? Why, you know, you have to be specific in what you're doing. I am not doing a career change just because I saw Lydia has changed her career. You know, it has to be something which you're passionate about. It has to be something which is, your goals must be measurable. You can track your goals. And then are they relevant to you? Are they realistic? You know, are they relevant to the current environment? For example, IT is the in thing now. So you want to change your career to IT. So you look at it, is it relevant right now? Is it realistic? Am I going to be able to achieve this if I go with this coaching, or if I just go on my own and do it? Then you have to talk about time bound. You have to have a time bound. When do I want to achieve this? When do I want to change my career? You know, you have those barriers, yes, but you need to sit down and have those SMART goals and put yourself in that box. I want to do this certification in the next 6 months so that tomorrow I can be, you know, a product owner, or tomorrow I can be a project manager. You just don't say, I want to be a project manager. How long, where, how? Those are very, very important key which somebody needs to do. And then when we do the coaching, we talk about spoon feeding. So somebody quoted that spoon feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon. Most of the people will reach out to you and say, can you tell me what you've done? Can you show me what you've done? You know, and they don't want to go to that length. They don't want to invest not only on money, but even on their time. They don't have time. You know, so spoon feeding will not get you anywhere. It will just show you the shape of the spoon. You need to get down, plan, have time, get a coach, get a mentor, involve yourself with coaches, with people who have already been on that journey, so that they can be able to show you the way, so they can be able to show you what you need to do. In our coaching also, we can talk about you having a good network. Network is your net worth. You know, if I see your friends, I'll say who you are. So be somebody who is surrounded by people who are going to support your journey, people who understand you, people who are going to be your accountable partners, people who can give you, you know, positive and negative criticism, and you can easily accept them and change. Also, you have to be able to be somebody who don't do negative talk. Especially when you want to change, don't think about how am I going to do it? Will I really succeed? So-and-so did it and they did not make it. How will I be able to make it? Just go out there, have positive talk. I can do this. You come up. This is what I want to do. And this is how I envision my life is going to be. As a coach, how can you help me? And I'll go ahead and ask you those questions. So why do you think you cannot do it? You know, the first question you always ask as coaches, Now that you've come to me, how do you want me to help you? We all have answers in us. We just need somebody to come out there and help us come out with those solutions. Everybody has a solution here, you know, but we are fearing because I don't want so-and-so to say something. What is the community gonna talk about? What if I do this and I fail? What if you do it and you pass? Or what if you do it and you make it? And so as a transformational coach, I train you to transform your life to the best of your ability, because it's about you, so that you can reach the optimum of your life or of your career. You reach where you want to be by the help of a coach coaching you, and you working together with the coach, so that you can be able to achieve where you need to be. Because your mind is not just a vessel, you know, to be filled with stuff, but it's fire to be kindled. You know, you have to be able to be open to discussion, open to learning, and open yourself to the ideas, so that you can be able to change where you are today. COVID has taught us a lot. And if COVID did not teach somebody something, then I think you need to have a great conversation with somebody so that you can have that mindset change. Because if you are in this pandemic situation and you have not transformed, you need to get a coach to help you transform, so that you can be able to be in a better place. I'm not saying that people are in a bad place, but I'm just saying there's a lot going on with the pandemic, and it's not over yet. We don't know where we are going. So this is the best time for you to work on your career, to work on transforming yourself. Set those goals. Have goals which are small, time-bound. You know, I talk about vision board all the time in my coaching. Have a vision board so that you can be able to visualize where you need to be tomorrow. Visualize your goals. Visualize what you want to do today, what you want to do in the next 1 week, what you want to do in 1 month, so that you can be able to put those small, smart goals achievable by breaking them down into small pieces. Finally, I always encourage people to celebrate themselves. So once you have achieved your goals, or as you're working on your goals, as you're working on your transformation, celebrate every little step you take. It is worth celebration. Sometimes we beat ourselves down because we didn't achieve a big project, but even the small one you have done, you should be able to achieve, you should be able to celebrate yourself. Have words which pump you up. Have words which help you grow. Have words which make you always think positive, you know, and then be able to think outside the box all the time. Just think outside the box. Some of us might have had our careers when we were younger because our parents wanted us to be nurses or doctors or whatever, architecture. But now that you are mature, you've achieved that, you have your degree, you can always transform to be better than what you are. So I just encourage our people, just get a coach, get a mentor, go out there, do what you can do. If you need to work with somebody, we are here, we can help you, work out with you, but it's work on the ground. You need to put your feet wet. You need to get down and do some work. It may involve money, may involve time, it may involve you not going out with your friends, but whatever it takes. You need to do that so that you can be able to succeed, or you can be able to achieve what you're planning to achieve in 2021 and beyond. Thank you. You're on mute, Lydia, sorry.
Thank you, doctor, thank you. I like that quote, forget everything and run, or face the obstacle and rise. So I think if there's anything we're going to leave with our audience today, forget everything and run, or face the obstacle and rise. Personally, I'm going to face the obstacle and rise. I cannot run. And also, according to everything you are saying, what I also picked is not just about the money, but time. If you plan your time, because it's through your time that you can get the money. Because if you plan your time well, then everything just falls through that as well. And the free will, it has to start from you, because you can't say I'm doing it because of so-and-so. So what's your why? So we need to ask ourselves, what's your why? Why are you doing it? Okay, and it has to be you, not because Dr. Francisca said I have to do. No, it has to be you. And the spoon feeding as well, what I got is be a master of your own mind. Be a master of your own mind and get yourself the blueprint. Don't let Dr. Francisca or Rose or Dr. Pauline or Sharon get the blueprint for you. Get it yourself. So that is the spoon feeding part. So you need to get the blueprint yourself for you to prosper, for you to progress, for you to break through. And also when you spoke about appreciating yourself, a lot of people, I think, associate appreciating yourself with pride. Because I know I actually went through that. I went through a period of, I can't appreciate myself because I'm thinking, oh my God, what if I do? I think it's pride. Can you just touch on that a little bit, Dr. Francisca? Because I know you said appreciate yourself, but I know a lot of people probably associate it with pride. How
so I'm gonna just talk a little bit about that. So most of the time when we do things, especially in our community, we don't really appreciate our time by celebrating ourselves. And celebrating ourselves could be as little as appreciating that you have achieved something. So today, if I said, I'm going to clean my bedroom inside out and remove all the clutter. So I have decluttered my room, I have made my room clean, I have done what I need to do. I can sit down with a glass of coffee, a glass of wine, a glass of anything I love. I can take myself out for a movie. I'm celebrating my win, you know, so that tomorrow when I start working, okay, I achieved this and I'm happy about it and I went out for a movie. Now, what is my next project? Another thing also, when you're celebrating yourself, it also builds yourself, your character and your self-esteem. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about your achievements and you work hard. It's just like a small kid when they do something good, you give them candy, you appreciate them, you know, you give them those lovely words, you make them feel good. We also as adults, we need that. We need to pump ourselves. We need to appreciate ourselves and say, yes, I did a good thing. What do I need to do to appreciate myself? What can I do better tomorrow? Today I've done a good job. What can I do tomorrow to make myself happy? Some people, they work so hard for a whole year and they say, I'm gonna buy my dream car. That's also part of appreciation. You know, I'm gonna work hard and this is gonna be my dream house and I'm gonna buy it in the next 5 years. At the end of your project or whatever you're doing, you buy that house. That's, you are appreciating yourself and you're making yourself feel happy about what you've done. And I'm gonna just add something, Lydia, about the know your why. It is very important to know our why because our why will build up or will push us to how and when and what we want to do. So it's very important to know your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing a career change? Why do you want to do transformation? If it's finance, why are you saving? It's important, but why are you saving? Is it because Sharon told you to save? So knowing your why is very, very important.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doctor. Okay, so I'll go to, again, saying thank you to all our viewers as well. And this platform is educational, motivational, transformational, is inspiring. If you leave the same, I'll be worried. I'll actually be really worried. You need to live with something. And I would really love somebody coming back and telling me, you know what, after watching you guys and listening to those powerful women on that platform on the 31st of January, 2021, this is me today. I've done this because I got the free nuggets that they gave. So guys, you're watching, thank you so much. Please share and bless somebody as well with the free nugget. You might think, oh, I'm just sharing on one platform, but even if you share on one platform, 2 or 10, you have really, really blessed somebody. Right now, I can see we have over 100 shares. Keep on sharing, guys, so that every single lady out there, or a man out there, or even a child can be blessed, especially the youths, because the youths, when they start early, by the time they're our age, they'll have changed the world. Somebody spoke about generational wealth. That touched me. I can't remember who said it, but I remember generational wealth. I think it was Dr. Pauline, because I speak about generational wealth a lot. And in our community or society as Black people, we don't really believe in generational wealth. Most of us always talk about generational curse. Oh, you were cursed by your uncle, by your mom, by your auntie, by I don't know who. Why can't you say you were blessed by who and who? And because of that, today we are enjoying and celebrating generational wealth. So that is what we talk about. And that's why these ladies today are doing in my mind, in my brain. My mindset have actually shifted already. So thank you very much, ladies. So I'll go to Dr. Pauline. Now, not just as a coach, but also as a doctor, here I am, or here somebody is in front of you with all these little voices and images and barriers and baggage, and there's friends here, and there's fear here, and there's self-hate, and there's low self-esteem, and there's unforgiveness, and there's jealousy, and there's too many things. So there's totally no clear direction or path for freedom of success or progress, or even how do I reach my goals? There's so many things, blah, 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 everywhere. So how do I cope with this, doctor? Help me.
Sorry about that. Well, Lydia and the audience that is watching us, again, thank you for being with us, because we truly have a lot to share. It's nuggets, it's free, but there's an opportunity to dive even deeper by booking personal sessions, group, personal, all of us, each of us. And so that question is fully loaded, but I like to make it light sometimes and say, there's a saying that goes, don't spin your wheels trying to turn ducks into eagles. In other words, sometimes you could be the problem of your problem. The problem could be you. You could be the one who is hindering, who is overestimating all these voices that you're hearing, over-interpreting all these things that you're hearing. Because in general, if you are a believer in the Christian faith like me, God put us on this world to create wealth creation through financing, to be able to finance the work of the kingdom, to provide wealth for our households, and to subdue the earth. And he gave us a way to do it. We are all able to do it because we each have a purpose. We were all purposed for a reason, each and every one of us. Those who have found it, hallelujah. Those who haven't, it's still not too late. You can find out what your purpose on this earth is. And with that said, we all like personal stories. I will use myself, my life as an example, say, to unpack some of the ways, the changes I made in my life once I discovered what my purpose was to get to the point where I am. I came to America in my 20s. I was lucky. I thank God for that. I came to this country to work. I did not go through the many hurdles that many people went through, but guess what? It was not hurdle-free. I had a husband, and at that point I had one child, and you come into this country, there's no maid, and you don't know how to drive on the right hand. If you know how to drive like I did, although some people wondered when I bought my first car, who was gonna drive the car. But now they had the assumption that, like everybody who comes to America, most of us from the motherland don't know how to drive, but I was lucky in that angle. So I had to learn a lot of things. I had to motivate myself. And as Dr. Fran said, I think it's Sharon. I had to kick away some of those friends that were not adding value to my life. So it's been a journey in the making. And part of the things that I always tell people when they're in our coaching sessions is there's 4 steps of actions that we always need to use. I'll tell them the action steps before I dive into my story. One thing, number 1, the value of connection. Who are you connecting with? Number 2, the value of hope? Are you connecting or are you holding onto your hope? Number 3, the value of restraint. Sharon gave some examples. We really all need to be able to restrain from some things that are not adding value to our lives. And I said 4, but there are 5. Number 5 is the value of self-esteem. How much have you been beaten by negative pronunciations? Oh, you never amount to anything. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, the story ends. But we have to, shake out of that. And then the value of listening. It is so key to not only listen to others, but you need to listen to others, but you also need to be, people need to listen to each other. Let me put it that way. It's key that we embrace the value of listening, because if you don't listen, you miss a lot of things. That's why we have 1 mouth and 2 ears, just saying. So this, coming back to myself, okay, so this coaching sessions, they've been in the making for years. It's amazing how God, puts you in situations, prepares you without even you realizing that what he's doing is for the future. So, I've had my own experiences, like wondering what I'm gonna do next with my life. But with more than 2 decades of leadership, I have experienced firsthand the deep and lasting impact of accepting a life that's overwhelmingly stressful, until I had the opportunity to sit under a fantabulous life coach. And so we're not just telling you to come and be coached by us. We all got coached. We all had life coaches prior to this session that they cheered us on. They allowed us to unpack the gifts we have, to unpack the talents we have, that now we are bringing back to the world in the form of nuggets. Because we pushed away fear, as Fran said, pushed it away and said, okay, time to kick the bucket of fear and allow somebody into your inner circle, into deep. Your coach really, gets into your skin, because they have to know you to be able to train you to get to the point where we can now come back and move to the next level and share our knowledge, our information with the others. Okay, so as I said, I was super stressed in corporate America. I was leadership. I took a floor that was, they had the crown for a turnover. Nobody stayed. Nobody stayed on that floor. It was a dialysis unit. So guess what? A dialysis floor, renal, and pulmonary fibrosis. So all chronic patients. So the patients are sour, most of them, and the nurses are super stressed out because they're dealing with not lung transplants, they're dealing with kidney transplants, they're dealing with patients who are, really, really tired of the chronicity of their disease. But at the same time, the leaders were also coming and leaving faster than the patients. So somehow, because of training from Studer and Maxwell, I was, a notch higher probably than what other people that had taken the jobs had been. So I came in, and I will not ashamedly say I also did spend hours in my closet. And those who know what closets are understand what I'm talking about. So that's where I drew part of my strength from, in my secret place. because when I walked into this job, I was like, holy Pauline, okay, this one you cannot do on your own. So eventually I just got like really busy and working to turn this around, which I did. I did turn around, and by the time I was leaving that job, I had the best retention. I had moved satisfaction from 50 to the 90s. I saw the results, but it came with a price, because I ended up with chronic constipation, hair loss, which at that time didn't matter to me. To me, it was just my achievements. Until I met my coach, who allowed me to really look at my life and see how hindsight is 2020. I mean, when I look at everything, and thank you, Coach Debbie, it was just, everything was just so, I was doing it wrong. I forgot about myself. I was just geared at achieving, and not taking care of me. And those who worked in corporate America I'm sure you can relate with that. They come with the expectations, and your job is to deliver those numbers, to make sure that your percentage is in the 90s, to make sure that where I worked as a team, to make sure that you're achieving that bonus that's being calculated on group effort. So if your group is failing, you're not getting the bonus. And who doesn't like money? So guess what? We were all working towards, getting to that bonus. And so that's why I tell people, if we can talk and I can help you get out of, the muck, the mess, so that you're not ending up with chronic conditions, so that, you can arrange your day, your leadership skills, so that you have time for the cheerleading game, your family, all those things. But you know what? It's so exciting to be part of Design for Success, because there is 3 other ladies giving you other things to just make you even more rounded than I did with a coach that touched everything. But now on this Design for Success, you're gonna get input, finance, a career, other coaching, a lot of stuff. So I'm a very, very proud member of this coaching team. And so there is more to it. If you really want to dive deeper, it's worthy. I want to just encourage those who have never had coaching sessions to try. It is worthy. Picture getting what you're getting in more detail. You can't go wrong with that. So coaching really helped me become a better leader. And then, of course, I added my educational background. So coaching plus education. And that's why I'm urging you to come deeper into these conversations with all of us, not only me, but all of us, because we have more to give you. We have a lot that we cannot share on this forum, but if you want to know more, you can come with us. I would say I would teach you things like incorporating lean principles and practices that have always been a blessing to me. For instance, I'm trained on the Toyota production system, that is one of the highly recognized systems. And why do I say that? Because number one, it encourages or teaches that all work should be highly specified to content, sequence, timing, and action. I mean, for instance, people laugh at me, but my ugali, I measure water. I don't just put water like that. I know how much water will turn out the ugali the way I want it. I measure every, it's just what I learned in leadership, that if you have a system, you expect results. And then there must be an ambiguity. Have you ever walked to a job and you're like, okay, so now what am I supposed to do here? Because it's a job with no policies, no standards, no, you've been thrown like to the wolves and you're expected to perform. So the Toyota principles, number 2, is there is yes, and there has to be a yes way and a no way. This you can do and that you cannot do. And then the other Toyota principle is the pathway for every product and service must be simple and direct. We all like simple. No jargon, just make it 5th grade understanding. Just write it as simply as you can. And then the other thing is any improvement must be scientific under the guidance of a teacher at the organization's lowest possible. That's why I said it has to be as simple as where somebody who's a housekeeper can understand what you expect them to do. So that's one of the principles that I learned that are very valuable for a leader, and that I could always teach somebody the details of it if you enroll into our coaching session. And then the other thing that I told you I found a flaw that was at 50% satisfaction rate, and I moved it to the 90s and it stayed there. It's because of being trained in Studer principles and sticking by those principles and coaching my team to understand those principles to the point that I always make a joke about this. When we were initially taught Studer principles, it didn't make sense to me to tell somebody that I have time for you. And at first we made a joke about it. And then we made a skit from it. And then our skit was used every time there was, what do you call those sessions? Annual education sessions. Because once you get your staff, if you are whatever you are, you're the leader, your staff, as Dr. Franz said, need to know the why. Once they get the why of why they're doing what they're doing, they will perfect it. Let them own it. I mean, it made more sense to me to come and tell somebody, okay, lay yourself on that bed, put the catheter in you, and let's see how it is a week later. Well, you could have got it out in 48 hours. Or have you been sick and have had to use wipes and now you're mucky down there? How about we use Castile soap with warm soap and water, and then tally the numbers and find out that with a Castile soap and water, you have reduced the urinary tract infections by 50%. So knowing the why is so important. And I will just list for you the 9 Studer principles that
Dr. Pauline, yeah. I'll stop you there. I'll come back to you to give us the principles later. I'll come back to Dr. Pauline. That was very informative. Thank you so much. And I know when you spoke about when you had to change. So we have to be ready for change, especially whether it's from geographical area to another, whether it's from different continents. You come, you get, there's a culture shock change, there's language, there's food, there's people. So we actually have to be ready for change. Like what you were saying about even the driving, we're driving from the right, some people from the left. So there's a lot of shifting within ourselves that we have to actually accept that we have to change so that we can actually now grow and step into our goals and into success without any barriers. And also speaking about friends, I know Sharon touched about that as well, but friends actually contribute a lot in our success. So we really have to know who we're keeping around us. And with the 5 values that you mentioned, or 2 actually stood out for me: value of restraint, discipline. It's very hard to discipline ourselves. So many times I've said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to eat this. I find myself eating it and I'm asking myself, why did I do it? But I only ask myself after I finish eating it. So that restraint, that discipline, it's so hard, but it's doable. The best thing about it, it's doable. And also value of listening. That is very important, because we should always listen to understand and not to respond. But most of the time, we just listen to respond. We just want to respond even before the person finishes saying what they're saying. So it's so important, especially as you women of substance here today, because you're all coaches, and I know that's your area of expertise, is more of listening to understand rather than to respond. So, and one thing I also wanted to say, and I know all of you are mentors and you've spoken about it, is I don't understand how it's so easier for us, because if you go to work, you have to be trained, you have to be mentored. Sometimes you go to work, you don't even know what you're doing, but you have to be mentored, you have to be trained, you have to be coached, and it's okay for you to accept that. But when it comes to being mentored, when it comes to why is it that it's so hard for us to accept the coach of mental state, our mental state of mind? No, I'm not going to be coached. I'm not going to be mentored. I'm not going to be trained. It's so important to start here, because everything starts from the mind. It's always about the mindset. So the faster we appreciate and we acknowledge that everything starts from here first, then it'll be so easy for us. And I know one of you as well spoke about invest in yourself. I think it was maybe Rose. Invest in yourself. And that is investing in yourself. Investing in yourself doesn't mean run and go and buy property, right? But your mental state of mind is not stable. So we have to start with investing in yourself. That means first is the mind, and then everything else follows. So thank you very much, my ladies. And I want to say thank you to everybody again who is watching. And just to read some stuff. And I know somebody asked about the nuggets. They say they missed what the nugget is. So just to say, the nugget is all about what we are talking about today. The coaches here, these ladies, these powerful ladies, they actually pay for the sessions. They pay for when you book for training, or you book for coaching, you book for mentorship. It's a paying program. But today they're giving it to us for free. So that's the free nuggets that we are getting today. So just to say that, because somebody was asking, what did I miss? What is the free nuggets here? So that is the free nuggets. And someone said definition of a woman leader, all that's under one roof. Whoa, you guys really inspire us. That's the definition of a leader. Somebody say doing also the mandazi and chapati business. That is a side hustle, like Sharon was talking about that. And powerful message from the ladies in the platform. You need disposable income for you to save. Most people lack just that. So you need a disposable income for you to save. So Sharon, I'll actually ask you that question, because I know you talk about money. Do you need a disposable income for you to save? Or you can actually, because I know you're talking about cultivating that little money that you have. So I'll actually ask you to just mention that. Do you actually just need that disposable income? So if you don't have that, can you actually save? But I'll give you time to answer that. So just write it down. So just remember that you answer that later. And someone say, yeah, that's the master plan. Thank you, ladies. I like the idea of making small achievement goals, because sometimes we are tempted to start big rather than small doses. Some people don't like small doses. They just want, I'm just running to make the big goal. So sometimes it's good to start small and face the obstacles and rise. Something to remember. Someone say, yes, I'll remember that. Self-care is crucial. I hear you, Dr. Pauline. Self-care is very crucial. And then can you please help define mentorship and coaching? I missed that. Okay, so I'll give that as well to Rose. For Rose, please write that down. If you can define the mentorship and coaching. somebody missed that as well. So we'll move on, and I'll let you, Sharon, I'll let you go first. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alice Omondi, for that. It's a great discussion. I'll let you go, Sharon, you go first, and then I'll let Rose as well answer that question. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay, thank you for that question. The question is said, do you need disposable income in order to save? I would like
somebody said somebody said you need that. So I'm asking, do you really need that in order to save?
I would like to say, no, you do not just need to have a disposable income. I would like to base it again by saying that it's all in the mindset of what you'd like to achieve. What's your goal? And again, there'll never be a time when money will be enough. So that's why planning is important. What do you need? What's your goal? When you talk about disposable income, remember we all have different ways of getting money in our pocket. How do you get that money in your pocket? By the time you'll wait for it to be an excess in order to feel like now I have an extra in order to start saving, that's the mistake we do. We need to break out of that. We need to figure out how we can improve ourselves and make things be, stretch it out a little bit and then start sacrificing. Saving is a sacrifice activity. We don't save because we love it. We save by, denying ourselves, like example, so many people right now don't have TV channels. So many people don't even have luxury things, like now they're going to eat out. Those are little steps one normally takes in order to start saving, even if it's just 10 shillings or 100 shillings before it grows. So I would say, no, you do not just say that, wait for that moment in order to start saving.
Okay.
Thank
you. I think because that just fell on your topic, because you spoke about planning and budgeting. Your next topic was to talk about saving. So is there anything else you want to tell us about saving? And then you can tell us about the investment tips as well. Just finish the topic that you had today. Sharon, please.
Okay, thank you. I was taking out the mute. So sometimes I like relating real life experience with transitional from one step to the other. So I'll be brief with a story. And it might not be great, but it will help somebody who is in a situation to see. So before I stopped talking, I remember I was giving an example, like after graduating from Kenyatta University in 2004, I started looking for a job. And I was in Kenya. I was staying in Kikuyuni, and I got a job through a friend's connection in industrial area. If you're in Kenya, you know how that distance is. I used to connect 3 matatus to go to work in industrial area to work for Mhindi. And we used to, I'm a graphic designer by profession. So that also tells you that I've already, this world transition, I managed to change career. I'm a business owner right now. But my main profession that I went to school for is graphic design, BA, Fine Arts. So I was staying in Kikuyuni, working in industrial area. We were earning like about 15,000 shillings at that time. And this 15,000 shilling, I was living in a 1-room place. It was so small, and we normally say you could see everything you had that time in this small room. So connecting 3 buses, I'm earning 15,000 shillings. The rent at that place was 7,500. Then if you add, by the end of the day when I was adding the fare and all that, I was only remaining with 3,000 shillings for food and any other need. It was tough. So what I did, I took the 3,000, I started with the little money, 3,000 shillings. I went to buy some fabrics and started designing plain fabrics, putting on patterns. And these fabrics I could go sell in the evening after coming from work from industrial area. When the traffic was, those long lines going to Kinoo, Kikuyuni, I could connect with people, sell in the evening. And then that's how I started multiplying my money. My main point was, in my mind, I said, I've finished school. I really long to come to America. What am I going to do? So after selling, sometimes I could go to the cyber to start reading, researching. And cyber those days were expensive. You pay per hour. So I used to sacrifice some of the profit, go to the cyber in the evenings. And then on Saturday and Sunday, sometimes if I don't travel up country, I could go to town, commercial area there, the cybers were a little bit reasonable. Do research. I managed to research on how to come to America. I managed to research on how to get I-20 to get to a school. I contacted different schools, and finally I got a school in Alabama. The school fee was a little bit reasonable, but I didn't have the money. All this was in my head. I really wanted to change my life. I didn't want all the mud, dirty place in Kikuyuni that I used to live. The commuting was so hard. I used to stay in this tiny room. I didn't have a bed. I was just, a friend gave me a mattress. So that's how I started. But my mission was to change my life, to improve. I managed to get an I-20 to a school in Alabama. I knew nobody in Alabama. I didn't have fare. I didn't have school fees. Community helped me, my church. That's why I like saying giving back, because I can't pay them back. You know, church helped me fundraise. I got part of the deposit for the school. Friends helped me fundraise. I got about air ticket, and that's how I made it here. Coming to Alabama, I didn't have anywhere to sleep. I met Kenyans at the corridor registration, and then I just asked them, hey, I'm here, I just came today. I don't have anywhere to go. Could you please offer me somewhere to sleep tonight? That's how I got accommodation. We are living in another house. They are not looking good. 12 people sleeping on the floor. That's how we started. It transitioned. We managed to, there were struggles in between, but overall nutshell, right now I'm not living in that little cube. At least I would say my life has changed. I've faced challenges, but through the challenges, I learned along the line. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if, for example, you are talking about waiting for that disposable income in order to start saving, if you are right now living in a one-room house or in a situation whereby you don't know about tomorrow, write a plan. What would you wish to be in 1 to 3 years? Sit down, start researching. No one is going to do it for you. Mm-hmm. Do researching, write emails, contact people. Right people will respond to you, and the right people will help you move to the next level. But don't give up after contacting 1 to 3 people and say, hey, this thing is not working. It's working. It's just that you haven't got the right person. So based on this story, you realize that I was going an extra mile to do, besides my Hindi job, I was working to do all the materials. And through this material money, the profit I was getting, I used part of it to work on the cyber. And then I managed to get a school. And part of it, I was also trying to boost my life at the same time. It made me move to the next step. But do I still go to sell material there and live in a small room? No, I'm not. So through that, I managed to save. Those are some of the tips you can see after writing a plan, how you can work on it, then start saving. Save with a goal. I was saving with a goal. And then through that also, I asked for help. That time, I asked the community to help because my parents could not afford at that time to bring me here. So always learn to ask for help. Some people might say no because they are not able to, but keep knocking the doors. People will come through when it's necessary. So after working on that savings tip, I've done the summary of that. Investment tips, identify what you would like to invest in. I really wanted to invest in education at that time. That's why I looked for an I-20. So through that, I managed to come to school here, but I didn't go through, it wasn't like finish up on a smooth surface. I struggled along the way, but don't give up. If you have a vision, you'll experience obstacles, but after identifying that, let's say you are investing in your education and that's what you really need to finish up before you move to the next level. If there's an obstacle, just put it on hold, then work on it. It's the same as maybe you are buying land you want to build. You might have, example, you buy a land and then you start building, it stalls. Don't give up on it. Look for ways to make it, boost it, or even if it's a matter of working an extra while, maybe 2-3 years trying to stretch, just with the hope that maybe in 3 years you'll still be alive and then you'll learn to live a comfortable life. But don't just live like, hey, I don't care about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Please don't. What if tomorrow finds you here? What are you going to do? Start begging. No one will be able to provide you the comfort life that you could have afforded if you learn to sacrifice right now 1, 2, 3 hours of your day to make it better. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you very much, Sharon. That was very informative and educational. And I just hope that people who are listening will actually take something home. Don't just listen for the sake, but take something home. And somebody, of course, put your comments, put your details there, please. Somebody's asking for your details. If you can put your details, I see the details are there, designforsuccessnow.com. I think, is that your website, ladies? Is that the website?
Yes, correct. Just pin it for us, please, if you don't mind. Whoever can help.
So designedforsuccessnow.com. Yeah. Yes. So that is the Nancy Riff. That is the contact, designedforsuccessnow.com. You can go there and write them an email, right? Email, text, message. You know, it has direct messaging. So whatever it's easier for you. Okay. Thank you very much. And also, someone said, please, Dr. Pauline, if we have time, that is, please give us some nuggets on authenticity. Copying and pasting of ideas is all over. Okay. Somebody asked that for doctor, and someone also said, would you advise on partners? Are they a great way to savings? So I'll go to Rose. So Rose, I think you have 2 questions because I would like you to ask that and answer that. I guess I'll start with the one the Facebook friend is asking. Yes, by mentorship. Yeah, with all due respect. And I want to say thank you so much for watching and listening to us. Remember, we are a group of coaches designed for success. And now.com is our website. We are able to help you in any way you would prefer. Okay, to my friend, partner. Partner, I would say in Kiswahili is like those little chamas, you know? You come as a group, you pull your money together, week, monthly, and then you give the other person. You start all at the same time. Then the next person gives you the same. So the question the person is asking, is this a good way of savings? If you are saving your money, the only thing, are you trusting that neighbor, that friend? If you're not, then maybe after 3 months, the person is now not having a job, doesn't have the money, then what? So it's a tricky way of savings. People do it back home. They come together, even here, and they give, let's say there are 5 people, like 4 of us here, so each one of us give 500. So $500 times 5 of us, that's 25. So we give to Dr. Fran, and then Dr. Kibisu, and then Sharon, and it goes round and round. It's a good way. The bankers hand over the contribution to the month that the other person is getting. Is it a good way? Yes, depending on whom you're working with. Is it tricky? Again, crisis of money is everywhere. As I was introducing myself, I know I didn't mention that I'm an author. I have studied leadership in my master's level in mentoring and coaching. And somebody asked, what is the difference? The difference here is one way in mentorship, you are able to propel somebody to the next level depending on the area they are working in. In other words, they come to you for guidance. In coaching, the thin line is there. You are specifically trying to make somebody shift that perspective or shift that thoughts to enable them project to the next level. I hope I'm making myself clear. There's a very thin line, but both of them work with our mentees or work with the persons who are what we are dealing with, or we are giving that opportunity to progress from one area to the other. So when you are being mentored, it means that you're able to work with your mentor and the mentee to progress in one area or the other. In coaching, let's say, for example, you need a personal development on your relationship. Let me just make that example. So
You ask me, okay, tell me something I can do about family relationship. I just can't deal with my family. And what is love? What is unconditional love? You'll ask me that. And I will say, listen, unconditional love depends. Are you able to communicate? Is that dialogue there? If that dialogue is there, then you'll be able to understand one another. Or are you just trying to survive and just overlooking anything that you don't care for or that you don't feel that will bar you from that relationship? Then that's a problem. So we're kind of having a thin line on mentorship and coaching, and it can also merge at one time or the other. So in coaching in this aspect, when I'm doing my development coaching, we are growing you to the next level. And I gave just a simple example for relationship and, for example, love. Love varies from one person to the other. What are you bringing into that relationship? Are you working towards growing that love? Are you just seated there wanting somebody to give you and give you and give you? What are you giving back? Okay? What are you giving back for that love? Many people ask, how come marriages don't last nowadays? Men, ask yourself, what are you putting into that marriage? Are you working hard for it? It is work. It's not just sitting back and let it work. It's not just having those beautiful moments. There are difficult moments and difficult decisions. Then now I will be able to coach you. Not that my marriage is perfect. Yes, it's been several years, but it has had valleys, ups and downs. And I can be able to coach you on what's best to do and not to do and when. So I just mentioned one specific area, relationship and love. What are you bringing to the table will dictate what kind of relationship you build with your children, with your husband, with your wife, etc., etc. So coaching is key, just like mentorship is key. I was a teacher for over 15 years. My first degree is in education. So definitely when I am talking to a child, I am mentoring this young person to be an high achiever, for example. So when you do that, you are giving them an opportunity to grow. Hence, you're empowering this young person. You're empowering the woman in the village to move on. And, you know, as a leader, and all of us here are leaders, guys, and it enables us to connect very easily. And all of us here are investors as well. It enables us to work very easily. Dr. Pauline and I really, really have a lot. We are in the NINAM investors. We are in the Canaan investment circle. We are in another one called the GW. So what I'm trying to say here, for you to develop, for you to invest, for you to grow you, for you to build a relationship, for you to have that marriage work for you, guys, you must work for it. If you love somebody, guys, just like you love your child, you're gonna work for it. You won't let that love die, never. Because one thing you know, if it dies, then you have done nothing. But if you move it to the next level, then trust me, you shall have made some shifting of mind. Hence our topic, mindset. Just like Oprah tells us, allow me to say this, Sister Lydia, God can dream, God can give you a dream, a bigger dream. But you are the only one who can move that to the next level. However you want to imagine it, use it. Make it work for you, because if you do, then you will realize what kind of dream you got. So I'm talking about coaching. We are helping you. By the way, guys, the classes have been on. This is the second class. The second class is ending in February. So we had started our first one last November, which was 13 weeks, because we were starting, we gave 2 weeks for free. This now that is also almost ending is 8 weeks. And we are starting the next 8 weeks, February the 7th. You don't want to miss this, guys, because what we're giving you here is just a little. But what we have, you can see it just beaming from our team here. It's marvelous. So check our designforsuccessnow.com. We have short classes, we have long classes, we have 1 hour classes, whatever you want to do. Somebody said, man, I'm tired of class work. Come on, we're not giving you an exam if you fear the exam. Okay? And Dr. Fran will tell you, yes, you want to do the IT. I know she's fighting for me. I've done classes for IT. I'm a data analyst. But because let me not tell you because you laugh at me. She's on my toes today. I need you to do this. I need it to be done. So that is what it is. A partner, accountability partner, one who will grow you. So all of these guys here are my accountability partner. I'm proud to associate with them. If you want to be accountability partner, this is the right people to be with. Again, we are discussing shifting perspective, mindset that will make you grow. Mindset that will improve what you have now. Because I cannot improve on what you don't have.
Exactly.
You know? Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope I answered the partner guy, the partner question.
Yes, you answered that. Actually, the lady said, thank you very much. And she also said true. And she said, thank you. And again, if you want the contacts, it's designedforsuccessnow.com. You'll find all these ladies there. You can ask your questions. And also, if you want, because now it's just a small magnet, just small. But if you want the full dose, the full dosage to make you step into your freedom and into your goals and into your success, please contact them, designedforsuccessnow.com. Get in touch and invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Not you know, in Kenya, we like saying, yo, pesa ni mingi, itanunua simiti. Forget that. You're buying the simiti, but your mindset is clogged with so many distractions and barriers. And, you know, we need that mindset shifted. The only way you can do that is to invest in yourself, invest in your mindset. And mentorship, coaching. We have Dr. Francisca here, who also, she's a transformational coach, all that, career coach. And my next question is to Dr. Francisca as well, before I'll come to Dr. Pauline, because somebody actually also asked a question, and I know she also had some points to give us there as well. So I want to ask Dr. Francisca, how do you set a goal? How do you set a goal? Please.
Thank you very much for that question, and thank you, audience. So how do you set goals? And I'm gonna go back to the main major thing, know your why. Once you know your why, this will guide you to how you're gonna set your goal. Once you know your why, this why will lead you to how, this why will lead you to when and where. So when you are setting your goals, you have to focus on what exactly you wanna achieve. What do you want to achieve in 6 months? For example, what do I want to achieve in the next 5 years? Is this goal a realistic goal? I want to lose 100 pounds in 3 months. Is that a realistic goal? You know, I want to get my degree. Is that a realistic goal? Because what degree do you want to get? How do you want to get it? Where do you want to get it? You know, and when do you want to be able to have accomplished getting that degree? So you set your goals, which are, and I spoke about this, they have to be specific. Your goals have to be, what is your purpose? Let me just go back a little bit. Your purpose in life. So if you found out what your purpose is in life and you're setting your goals should be focused on your purpose. They should be focused on your why, your passion, what do you want to do? Do not set a goal because somebody else has set the same goal and you feel like they're succeeding, I'm gonna set that goal. So you know your why. You make your specific goals, you know, which is linked to your action, idea. And then this goal has to be measurable. You can be able to track it. You can be able to see the progress. There's tangibility in that goal. It has to be achievable. What actions are you gonna do? What tasks are you gonna do to make sure that you achieve your goal? It has also to be relevant to what you really want to do or relevant to the current situation. because these goals you're making is for you to grow, is for you to grow yourself to the next level. You're just not making goals just for making goals sake. And so when you're making this goal, you have to have time attached to it. How long, when, you know? And these goals have to be in a way that you can be able to manage them, make them small, make them manageable, make them tangible. Because what happens is we make very big goals and then the fear creeps in. How am I going to achieve this goal? Because it's too big for you to achieve. So make small goals. I want to go to school. Start by researching, you know, set your goals. Okay, I want to go to school. What do I want to study? Why do I want to study this? Network, group of people. Who has done this thing before? I want to be a doctor. Who in my group or in the people I know has become a doctor? Get with that person. Let them tell you what it is to be a doctor. Let them tell you the process they took to get where they are. You are doing your research. You are digging, you know, the ground for yourself, you know, and then read books. Find out, I want to be a doctor in which line? And then set your goals there. In order for you to be able to actually succeed in all these things, you have to be vulnerable, my friends. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be open, so that people can help you. Go out there and talk about what exactly you want to do, so that when you set your goals, they are smart and achievable. I hope I've answered that question.
Thank you very much.
I just want to, can I piggyback on what she just said?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Fran has a very good way of bringing things out. Sometimes I admire her art. You know, everybody's talented in a different way. And I'm sure if she tells us her story, you look back and say, okay, so I set my goal poorly. I should have set it right. I know at one time we discussed with her, just bring the story to allow somebody to understand why it is important to set your goals. She was like, you know, if you did X, Y, Z in this way, probably will not be there now. And I sat back and said, I never thought about it like that. So in other words, it can be incremental. That change doesn't come once, but you can increase it slowly by slowly. Remember when we are doing coaching, friends, we are more performance driven. That's why we have brought 4 heads to perform better in a job performance. In other words, we are helping you grow in that line or build a new line that is much better in terms of job performance. As professionals, we are consultants and helping you to move to the next level so that you too can move to a different level. Guys, I personally am so grateful that I have 5, I'm telling you, save on you, 5 coaches, Debbie, Cleston, Lisa Nichols, Jean has drove me to cry, especially when we were discussing Napoleon Hill, a book that I had just been reading, but not taking note in it. She enabled me to see myself and remove myself from the cultural difficulty that as Luos, we don't do that. As Kikuyus, we don't do that. Come on, who told you that? It is high time you change your attitude, change your mentality, and make you, and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. It starts with you. And just as I was explaining earlier, guys, mentoring just helps us to make that development that helps us to function beyond us. It is a holistic approach that helps us move from one stage to the other. So just know the 2 differences. When you have us as coaches, men, you'll go far. I'm not just bragging because it is us. And you don't have to choose us. But if you choose us, you will never regret. And I'm sure as I talk to my beautiful Lydia here, she's on board. She's on board.
Of course.
All right?
Of course. And thank you so much, Rose. And just going back to invest, that what you're just saying is, again, we're going back to invest in yourself mentally, because again, our life is all about our mental state. If your mental state is not stable, there's nothing you can do. And you need to invest in yourself. And investing in yourself, like I said, is not nunua simiti, nunua siju. Uko na simiti ngapi wewe, siju uko na nyunguo ngapi wewe. That is not what it is. It's about your mental state of mind. And you need the coaching, you need the mentors, you need people like Francisca, Dr. Francisca, she's a transformational coach and career coach. You need all that. And also when you're talking about how to set your goals, what I took from that was the how, the when, the where, and the why. But number one should be your why. Then your why will transform to the how. And the how is you have to be realistic with it. And then your how will also transform to the when. The when is your time frame. And then your when will also transform to your where. And your where will be your destination. Where am I going to go with this? What I want to do. So thank you very much, my ladies. So I'll also ask this question, and this question I'll ask it to Dr. Pauline. And Dr. Pauline, while you answer this question, please, can you also tell us, because I know I stopped you there, and also a question that somebody said, can you be authentic and tell us, because copy and paste is all over right now. So please give us some nuggets on authenticity. Copying and pasting of ideas is all over. So I'll ask you this question, Dr. Pauline, as well. And I would like you to start with this, please. Can a goal change? So I have a goal, my goal, 5 years goal, 6 years, whatever, 10, 15, but can it change? Can a goal change? Or is it only the process that can change? Thank you.
Oh, well, thanks again, people, for being with us. And I will just tail end a few points on goals, and then I'll move to, to the questions that I was asked. If you're a Bible reader, if you read Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the goals and make it plain. It's even in the good word of the Lord that we need to write them down and make them plain. And then a writer and author named Diana Hunter tells us, goals are dreams with deadlines. And better still, Andrew Carnegie tells us, if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hope. So, with that said, before I answer my questions, I'll just touch a few things that Ms. Lydia commented on listening. I just want to also give a quotation on listening and just do a few reminders on what the value of listening is. Ralph Nichol tells us the most basic of all human needs is the need to understand and the need to be understood. The best way to understand people is to listen to them. So in other words, listening goes beyond hearing. Listening is hearing to understand. And so I'll leave that there. And then she also piggybacked on restraint. King Solomon, the famous King Solomon said, a quick response can ruin everything. Mm-hmm. So that's why we need to have restraint. Restraint is the key to any successful relationship, both personal and professional. The wrong words at the wrong time can burn bridges that are impossible to repair. And in other words, a wound in the body takes months to heal, but wounds to our spirits can last a lifetime. So just keep those in mind when you're thinking about the value of restraint. And so I'll do my studio goals last, but somebody asked about there being copy and paste, so much copy and paste. Learning is a continuous process. It's very continuous. And so every day you have to learn. And really, I don't know whether I believe, and that's why when I quote people, I try to say this is so and so. Everything we learned in my world, we learned from somebody else. You learned from your mother, you learned from your coach, you learned from somebody. In my opinion, as long as you're giving credit to the person you learned it from, and not, I mean, you can paraphrase it, you can, if you're going to speak it verbatim, give credit to whoever you learned it from. Don't claim it to be yours, yet it's somebody else's work. Here in the US, that is plagiarism, and it's a big, you know, if you're in college, you'll be dropped out of that class because you're plagiarizing. So because some things are not new, they've always been there, they're just being unearthed by people to share to the public. If the person, I have no issue, I don't, so long as you are giving credit to the person, and then you may even, as I say, the more you know, the more you don't know. So you find something and then do more research on it. To me, that ceases to be copy and paste, because you put some hard work into it and either added meat or subtracted some meat and made it better and more palatable for the masses. So long as credit is given where it's due, no problem. But when you just lift, copy and paste, no, can't do. That is wrong. The authenticity has to remain. Credit has to be given, due credit to the original owner of the hard work. And that's why I guess all of us have been giving credit. When I quote somebody, I say, I'm going to talk about Studer principles, I gave credit. It's not Pauline's principles, it's Studer principles. When I talked about Toyota principles, I say Toyota principles, you know, not my own, but they are principles that have helped me. I didn't have to go back to the drawing table and create my own principles. I was able to borrow from those principles and expound on those principles and teach, you know, either my team or now the world about these principles. Okay, and I guess let me read out the Studer goals that have been very helpful to me in leadership, because leadership needs to be a continuous improvement process, because you need to check yourself throughout. And if you don't, then you're living in a silo. And when you live in a silo, then you can't be corrected. You think you got it all. It's not the best way to exist. There is so much out there, and you can always learn from other people. And just as I said, learning is a continuous process. So if you lock yourself in a silo, then we are all in trouble, because you'll be thinking that it's only your mama that cooks with salt, yet all other mothers cook with salt. So we need to move from that mentality. So there's 9 Studer principles, and the first one is to commit to excellence. I mean, whenever you engage a team, your team needs to commit to excellence, because high expectations to achieve results is a very good team value to have. And that's one of the things you need to teach your team. And then the second goal principle is measure the important things. In other words, continuously track progress to achieve results with an improvement mindset. Even if something is better, it's always good, like, to do an A4 and the fishbone diagram, for those who know, and figure out how else you can better this. And once you do that, the team takes responsibility. Once you have the buy-in of your team, it's not your thing, it's our thing. And when we're working on our thing, we all have, an element in the success of this thing. I mean, like if you're, say, a leader in nursing, when they bring you like, okay, patients shouldn't be falling, instead of coming up with the solutions, go back to your team and hear them out. You will be surprised how many brilliant ideas will come out of that team. And out of that team, delegate the responsibilities to your team. And so you pull back. Yes, you're the leader, but you're also a team member. And so you're growing leaders as a result. Because you're not going to be there all the time. You want to leave an institution knowing that you built leaders, that you didn't, everything was not, hard, this is a secret. No. The more leaders you're building, the better, your business or your workplace or your team will be, because keeping things secret, silo mentality does not work. And then build a culture of service. And oh my God, this is such a problem back home. People do not want to serve. They want to be paid. Even the facilitator wants you to pay. I mean, how am I paying you while I'm trying to help the needy transform themselves? Big problem in Kenya. So if anybody who's hearing me, do that. And then number 4, I'd say create and develop leaders, focus on engagement satisfaction, build individual accountability, be accountable. Number 6, align behaviors with goals and values. Number 7, communicate at all levels, communicate, and recognize and reward successes. Everybody likes to be praised. And I will leave it at that so that we can have more time for the rest of the team. Again, thank you for being here to listen to us. We don't take it for granted.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pauline. That was very, wow, that was deep. Somebody say, thank you very much. That's very inspirational. Thank you for the information. Thanks so much. That's powerful. I'm just sad that we're running out of time, really running out of time. And I still have some questions, which I don't even think we're going to tackle because of time. So
Call us again. We're ready.
Yes, I think I should call you again because this was very interesting and very informative. And that's why I said anybody who leaves this platform who are not being transformed or educated, I don't know really. But thank you so much, ladies. I will not even ask the questions that I have, but like I said, I'll call you guys back again someday so that we can actually finish with everything that we're talking about. But I'll say thank you so much, Rose. Thank you so much, Dr. Francisca. Thank you so much, Sharon and Dr. Pauline. I'm just going to give you seconds to just say you're out. Just seconds. So I'll start with Rose. Please.
All right, never start with me because I will take forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook friends, and anybody who will be watching in the near future, this program is for you. It is not long because there's nothing in it. It is long because there's lots and lots of goodies in it. And because it has lots of goodies in it, I, Rose Oginga, an entrepreneur, transformation, design for success coach, I will tell you, you are at the right place with the right team. We have classes going on. We have classes coming up. We also have an inclusive for our children. As you build your own, why don't you also build your child? We have Mr. Ariara's teacher who does chess. And those who have watched children who do chess know how smart they are. It starts from ages 5 to your grandma who is 100 years old. So hook us up. We're gonna bring this home to you guys. There are families who are really enjoying the chess program with their children, and it is getting them off those gadgets. We are a package worth testing. As you improve yourself professionally, as you mentor yourself as a young student, this is it. Come join us. Thank you so much. Designforsuccessnow.com. It is what you need to join. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. So I'll go to Dr. Francisca, please. Just seconds, please.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching us. Thank you so much, Lydia. I hope our conversation today has made you think about something, think about how you can have a transformation or a mindset change in 2021. I'm just gonna leave you with something Benjamin Franklin said. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. In Design for Success, we want you to be involved. We involve you in every stage of your own growth. So if we involve you, you work together, we collaborate together, all of us learn. And just to add on that, we are authors here. Sharon is an author, Rose is an author, I'm also an author. We can also coach you on how to write a book if you want to, you know. And so this is an opportunity for all of us to just jump in and try and learn something and grow together. Thank you so much. We don't take your time for granted.
Thank you very much, Doctor. So I'll go to Sharon, please.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. My last shot today will be, do not wait thinking that this is not the perfect time. Just start and start it anyway. I'll give an example. I never used to speak in front of people. I never used to even want, I felt like I didn't have anything meaningful to say, but through just starting and working on it, and then I also met these great people. They really contributed to some of the major growth that I have right now. So don't think that this is not the perfect time to start anything. Do not wait. Just do it anyway. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Our Dr. Pauline, please.
Okay, I will end with, first of all, a quote from John Maxwell that says, where there is no hope in the future, there is no power in the present. So I hope we dropped you some hope in the future. And just to wrap it all up, I hope that you will become a successful person by remembering to compliment, by remembering to have a sense of gratitude, by forgiving others, by giving other people credit for their victories, by accepting responsibilities for failure, by reading every day, by keeping a journal, by talking about ideas, by wanting others to succeed, by sharing information and data, by keeping a to-do list, by exuding joy, by setting goals and developing life plans, by embracing change, by continuously learning and keeping a to-do project list and operating from a transformational perspective. I hope with those nuggets, you'll be willing to join us for more or get in touch with us. We're waiting. Thank you so much for spending time. And thank you so much, wonderful lady, Lydia Olet. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would have stayed here for hours because it's not just about us talking, but is what I'm getting. I've received so much today. I've never heard 4 pages before. I was writing 4 pages today because the nuggets, I know you're dropping little nuggets, but me, I think I've got the biggest nugget today, and I am so happy. And of course, I'm going to get in touch with you guys. So once again, what I'll leave you guys with is invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, and it's all from the mind. It starts from the mind. Stop thinking I won't say Kenyans or Black people, or I won't say Kenyans or Africans, I'll say Black community. We should stop thinking of just buying a plot or think of your mind. It's all about the mind. We need to be coached. We need to be mentored. You understand? When you go to work, they don't just tell you, okay, start working. They coach you, they train you, they mentor you. So why do you accept that? But when it comes to your own mind, your own state of mind, you're like, no, I'm not gonna do it. But I can take money to go and buy this and buy this and buy that. Buying things is good. Buying your things is good, but start buying your mind first. buy your mind. And by buying your mind is by investing in yourself. And by investing in yourself is getting mentorship, coachship, transformation, motivation, inspiration, all that in one. And this ladies, designedforsuccessnow.com has it all under one umbrella. So you don't have to go and say, okay, I'm going to get a coach there, mentorship there. I don't know what, they're all under one umbrella. And you can see we have all these ladies are ladies who know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. They're not just somebody who came from the market or from the streets to talk to us. They know exactly what they're doing. So you know that you're in safe hands. When you go to, when you visit Rose, when you're talking to Rose, or talking to Dr. Francisca or Sharon or Dr. Pauline, you're in safe hands. And what I'll leave as well is forget everything and run, or face the obstacle and rise. I love that quote so much. So guys, if you're still watching, you need to write this down. Write this down. Somebody say, Lydia, 20 kwa class here. I'm in the class already, Nancy. Class already.
Lydia, a few seconds, if you don't mind, just to pass on something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know I needed to have mentioned this, but I think when you get overexcited, you forget certain things.
Yes.
Dream like a star. You may never reach it, but you follow it to where it leads you, because probably that's your destiny. And remember the term PORE, passing over opportunity every day. This is your opportunity. I can tell you, a friend, Doreen, invited me somewhere where there is stock exchange, and I have gained chums. So don't you dare miss an opportunity when you're given a chance. This is it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. Those are quotes. We've had quotes from Sharon, quotes from Dr. Pauline, quotes from Dr. Francis, quotes from Rose. We've had so many quotes. So if you were watching and you had a paper and a book like me, I'm not lying, guys. I have so many things written down. I've never written so many things down like this. And I'm not saying that I'm going to start my own mentorship class, because that's not me. I don't do all that. So I'm not, and I know, just to clarify what someone said about copy and paste, and I like what Dr. Pauline said, there's nothing, I just want to tell someone, but that there's nothing new under the sun, nothing new under the sun. Everything we do, somebody else had done it before. But like Dr. Pauline rightfully said, give credit where credit is due. Don't go and say, this is my project, I started this. No, you did not start, because there's nothing new under the sun. I do an event called Kenya and Friends in the Park, and every time I'm talking about that event, I always say I got it from Ghana in the park. There's Ghana in the park. But now what I did with it, I said Kenya and Friends. So Ghana is just Ghana in the park. So I added Friends in there, and they're setting everything they do, because I go to the event, it's totally different from the Kenya and Friends in the park. But is it a new thing? Did I just come? No, it's not. It's something, because even Hoover, we have Hoovers, but every day they come with different things. They make it unique. Today is hoovering, and it's hoovering water. Tomorrow is hoovering your car as well. So it's not new. So there's nothing new under the sun. Just make it unique. And if you don't have the ideas to make it unique, then give credit where credit is due. It's very important. And I'll also say the PORE, passing over opportunities every day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your chance. Do not let it go. So I'll say thank you so much for all those people who are watching us today. I always say thank you. I say this show will never be a show without you guys. You guys make the show. Every single person who joined us on Facebook, you are the ones who make this show. We just come as guests to talk about ideas and give the ideas out there. But without you, what's the point? So thank you so much. Somebody say, let's get serious with Right Minds Nutrition. Exactly. Nutrition in our minds first. Well said, Lydia. Thank you very much. Wow, this is great. Thank you so much, ladies. Nice quotes. Thank you so much, ladies. Lovely show. Very, very nice. So thank you. sure people are actually right now leaving this place with a different mindset. And that's what we wanted. So say thank you very much, every single person. And like I always say, my last words every time is COVID, guys. COVID is real. I always talk about COVID before I leave. COVID is real. Right now in the UK, we are in tier 4. Tier 4 means no, do not associate yourself with somebody out of your household. That means if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're not even supposed to see them. If you have your children living somewhere, you're not supposed to see them. If you have your grandma, grandpa, you're not supposed to see them because COVID is real. So if we listen and follow the government's guideline, this thing is going to go away. So you'll be able to see your family, you'll be able to see your children if you're not living with them, because some people don't live with their children because they're older, living somewhere else. You'll be able to see your grandma, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Guys, COVID is real. Stay safe, like our Mayor Elizabeth Kangede rightfully said there. Stay safe, guys. Wash your hands. And I don't even know why somebody will be reminding you to wash your hands. Wash your hands. That is just hygiene. That is something nobody should even remind you to wash your hands. That is something you should always do. Wash your children's hands. If you don't have soap and water, use the sanitizer. I don't use that sanitizer too much because it has chemical as well and is not very good with your hands either. But when you don't have water and soap, please use your sanitizer. Wear your mask. Where you wear your mask in public, please wear your mask. And also social distancing is very important. So please, guys, stay safe, stay sound, stay blessed. Until next time, see you all. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much for having
Bye-bye.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.